Hey Tom, Brandon here. It's an early morning in Atlanta. I'm heading out for my first trip of 2024. Today I'm headed to Texas with Zoho for Zoho Day 24. Come along. This year's event is being held in McAllen, Texas. We'll talk about why McAllen a little bit later. But the event kicked off with an evening reception with some of the best food I've had in a long time, as well as a great opportunity to network and get to know the Zoho team. So good morning from Zoho, day one of Analyst Day 2024. Super excited to be here. Just the breadth of Zoho, how big it is. It's attracted a large audience of analysts, and I'm really looking forward to digging into what's new with their suite of products, how AI is empowering these applications. So here we go, day one.
Morning.
Morning. Zoho CEO Sridhar Vembu kicked things off with a very interesting keynote where he talked about the culture of Zoho, which we'll talk about in a minute. There were also some interesting panels, mostly with customers telling their stories. The networking time was absolutely amazing, and you really felt the hospitality of South Texas. The chef that did most of the catering was amazing. And at the end of the event, we got to go to SpaceX, which if you hang around after my 3 takeaways, I'll show you a little bit of what we got to see there. Okay, for my first takeaway, we're going to go inside the numbers. 125. That's the number of analysts that are here. Yeah, this is a large event, and they're from 16 countries. That's because Zoho is a global company. They're also a large company. They have over 100 million users. They also have more than 50 apps, and I think that's why there's so many analysts here, because everybody kind of covers their own space, and there's a lot of space here to cover. The other number that was really interesting to me, that was 60% of their users are using more than 20 of the apps. And that tells me this suite concept, they're selling it. Customers are buying it, they're investing in it, they're buying into that vision of a single suite. And I think as we get more and more serious about things like analytics, business intelligence, of course, artificial intelligence, having all of this data under one umbrella will make all of these initiatives so much easier. So I really like that this suite concept is working and that they're having great success with it. So if 60% of their clients are using more than 20 apps, what's that user experience like? Are they having to log in and manage 20 different apps? One of the things that I want to talk about in my second takeaway is the Spaces concept that they showed, where they're kind of unifying these apps from a user perspective. So a user's not having to log in and manage all these different apps. They're kind of getting a much better experience, a unified experience where things are grouped more by function than they are by individual tasks. So you might have a tab for your personal apps that you use, which might be email and chat. You may have a corporate one that has all different kinds of corporate documents, corporate calendars, all of that kind of stuff. And then if you're in HR, you'll have your little HR tab with your very work-specific applications. I think this is really needed. I think that the industry as a whole has not done a great job kind of addressing this. So what they showed us is kind of still being developed, but it was very exciting to see this attention that's getting spent in this really important area, really making it much easier for users to interact with these different systems. My third takeaway kind of has to do with the culture of Zoho. I'll admit this is my first event. I'd used them when I was consulting, but I didn't know much about their corporate culture. And I thought this was really one of the biggest takeaways that I take from this event is their commitment to what they're doing in the world. Again, they're an international company, but they have some really kind of core values. They talked a lot about their education initiatives and trying to serve areas that don't have a lot of tech talent, and actually creating education tracks and mentorship programs to help develop the next generation of engineers and talent for their organization. They talked about a program where women that have been out of the workforce, they have a program to help, kind of bring them back into the workforce, because that's a huge need. They also talked about, kind of locating around the world, picking locations like McAllen, Texas, that aren't a first-tier city. It's not Austin, right? And there's a reason for that. They want to look at places that they can attract and develop talent in, and help keep talent that might normally leave somewhere like McAllen and go to Austin, but actually keep the talent here, and really try to develop that, and find cities that offer a high quality of life, that have affordable housing. And they're kind of embracing these values across the world as they look at where they're expanding and building offices, and even taking that down into the village level and places that there's not a lot of economic opportunity. I really love this commitment. It's not just noble or sounds good. It's pragmatic. It's good business for them. But it's also great for communities like McAllen, where they have this really strong partnership to develop and retain talent in this region. I love what they're doing in all these initiatives, and their employees constantly reference this. It's not just a program that they do. It really does see ingrained. It comes from the top, and I think it's a very refreshing perspective. Well, that's it for this edition of On Convergence. I want to thank the Zoho team. They've been so wonderful to host us and done an amazing job. I'm really excited about their story and look forward to following it in the months and years to come. We'll see you next time on Convergence.